Hey everyone, what I want to talk to you today about is something called Unspoken. And I got this motivation to do this video. I know it's been a while since I've done one. I've just been very busy with all of these projects going on, but wanted to take the time today to talk about this. Last week, or over the weekend, I went and saw the movie Arrival. And great movie, by the way, if you like those scientific type movies. But there was really an underlying message that I saw that some people probably wouldn't unless you're really looking for it. But the movie was really basically about these scientists trying to communicate with these aliens that came down to Earth, and they planted 12 different locations of these rock-looking spaceship places, but they were speaking this, of course, this language from another world, and they brought in these two scientists to try to decipher and really figure out what they were trying to say. So a lot of times when you're talking about communication and you're speaking with people, sometimes you really have to think outside the box to really figure out what people are trying to tell us or what the underlying message is. Sometimes it's not always there on the surface, so we really have to consider that, especially in business or especially being an entrepreneur. When we're depending on what your business is and what your brand is, you really have to consider the unspoken word. And I say that because when you're talking to people, sometimes even myself, when we're talking to people, sometimes we speak in a language that other people don't understand, and vice versa. I really saw this really deep into the movie and the message, really understanding what people are trying to say. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a threat. It doesn't necessarily mean it's friendly, but we don't know unless we take the time to figure it out. And sometimes, like I said, you really have to think outside the box to be able to figure out what the message is and how to relay a message back so that you're not a threat either. So with that being said, it becomes an unspoken words and almost becomes a foreign language to us. So we really have to be careful of what we're saying and take steps. Really listen, really pay attention and watch the person. In the movie, the aliens would come up to be noticed and they would send out these smoke signals, and that was their language. And the scientists that came up there and were looking at the smoke signals, they tried to just talk to them like they would talk to a normal person, and they couldn't figure it out. So the main scientist actually broke it down and said, okay, we need to figure out their vocabulary first before we start communicating to them and trying to ask questions. Because if we don't know what the person is trying to say or what their language is, then there could be a miscommunication, or they could find us as a threat. And this goes in real life and in business as well. A lot of times we really just need to listen to people that we're talking to. Stop talking over people, and I find that very common that people do. Listen to the contextual part of the message. And don't take offense and don't jump to conclusions. You really have to listen. That's the number one component of successful communication. If you don't listen to the person and listen to everything that they're saying, how do you know how to respond? What do you know what to say back? And how do you know how to answer any questions that they might have, or how to create a statement in conjunction with what their context and content is. So these are just simple tips, but can become very challenging for people because not everybody communicates properly. So really take the time to listen to people, which is number one. Decipher the information, pause, take a second, think about what you're going to say, and then speak your words. So it has to be quick, and you really have to think outside of the box quickly on how to communicate your message back to them so that they input it and they take it properly, so they're not taking offense to it and they understand what you're trying to say back. So hopefully everybody is having a great Monday so far. It's only about 1 o'clock here in Florida. We're probably the only warm state in the nation right now. It's a crisp 80 degrees here. I wish we had some cooler weather, but most of you all wish you had warmer weather. So hopefully everybody is getting ready for the holidays and everybody's getting ready to enjoy some great family time. I hope everybody has a great holiday. I hope everybody has a productive week before Christmas this weekend. And if you don't celebrate Christmas and you celebrate other holidays, happy Hanukkah to my Jewish friends. And hopefully everybody stays safe and be productive, hustle, be confident, and have passion in what you do. Take care.